WIBTAH, if I put a post in my yard that could damage my neighbor's truck, my husband, male 29, and I, female 28, have lived in our home for over 6 years now. Our house is over 100 years old, and we've slowly been making improvements when we can. When we got married, my father-in-law gifted us landscaping for our front yard. We planned out what we wanted, talked to a landscaper, and he wanted to pay for it as a wedding present. The landscaping was completed over 3 years ago, and we were very pleased and appreciative for such a great gift. The landscaping included a much-needed retaining wall where there was a low patch in our front yard that previously turned into a mud pit when it rained. Fast forward to last year, and our neighbors sold their house to a new owner. Almost immediately after she moved in, she made it clear that she was going to be unpleasant to live next to. In the first week or so living there, she came into our backyard and chopped the top off of one of our juniper bushes and threw it into our yard. The bushes were next to her garage, but clearly in our yard. It's an old neighborhood, and a lot of the garages were built long after the homes, so everything behind the houses is very close together. Her garage is very close to the property line, and maybe even a little bit on our property. We would be understood if she didn't like the bushes. They were looking scraggly, and landscaping for our backyard was next on our list for improvements. However, she gave no explanation, and she hadn't even introduced herself to us. I knew she did it because I could see her from my dining room window. We ended up clearing all 3 of the bushes out by her garage because they were unattractive, especially after having the top lopped off one. About a week later, she ran over our retaining wall with her lifted truck. It damaged the wall, but her truck is so tall, it did no damage to her vehicle. Again, she never talked to us about it or apologized, but I had seen her do it because I am home all day. That summer, we had the same landscaping company do work on our backyard, so we asked them to add on a repair for the front yard retaining wall. The repair cost $100, and we paid it because we didn't want a confrontation with our neighbor. 1 week after the wall was repaired, she hit it again. Still, we had no apology from her. We outside a lot, so we thought eventually she would approach us about it, so we gave her time. She never did. One day I saw her walking her dog and came outside to discuss it. I just opened by saying that I wanted to talk about our retaining wall, and she responded back by saying that she didn't know how the wall was damaged. When I said I'd seen her run over it with her truck many times, she started making excuses. She said the wall is too close to her driveway, and that it could be been a delivery driver or any random person who used her driveway. I stayed firm. Initially, I was just going to ask her to pay for the next repair, but I decided that since she didn't even apologize, I would ask her to reimburse us for the initial repair as well as the upcoming repair. She agreed, but said it wasn't a big deal and she couldn't make any promises she wouldn't just hit it again. The wall was repaired again yesterday, and this is the part that my husband says I would be the off for. I put an ornamental iron post at the edge of our wall, but completely on our side of the property. That way it would be easier to see where the wall is, but if she hit the wall again, she would also hit the post and it would probably damage her truck. My husband told me to take the post down. He said I was being vindictive and immature. I took it down immediately after I put it up, but I really want to prevent further damage to our property. I don't want her to hit the wall again, but if she did hit it and our wall wasn't the only thing being damaged, I think she'd be less likely to do it again. So, would I be the if I put the post back?